My name's Bryce, this is Ryan. Work here at Obsessed Garage. More like the media guys. I do almost everything. He does pretty much almost everything in media. So, I might be like a labeled media team lead. He might be designer, but we pretty much touch just about everything for Obsessed Garage media-wise. So we're gonna do a little video showing you like what gear we use to capture video and do photos. So behind us, you can see, I don't know, a lot of money probably in cameras. I told
do the math and see how much it actually is.
Someone will do the math in the comments, and then they'll like yell at Matt or something. So, but we kind of have like a way progressing upwards. So on the end here, we have a G7X. This is just like a really quick vlogging camera. Like a lot of vloggers will use it. Screen flips up, really easy. I don't know much about this because I've never really used one, but
Matt walks around with that everywhere.
Yeah,
Come
Matt's
up to
just
you,
pretty much
shove it in your face, and you're like
going like this. So if you see him with really noisy autofocus, it's probably this camera. And then we have a bunch of cards, 64s, 128s. We have two really fast 64s. These are 300 megabyte per second. So if I know it's not going to be a really long video, I'll try and shoot it on this, because then I can put it to my PC really fast and get the footage off. But we always have cards on hand. You know, little, what are these things, the Joby?
yeah,
little tripods.
I think.
So you see people, another vlogger thing, even farther out like that. Moving on, A7 III. So this is more like a gimbal camera and kind of like a vlog camera or a secondary camera.
Like a run and gun camera. Like if we don't want to like take this thing off, we'll go grab that and go take pictures or shoot video with it real quick.
Yeah.
Because it's not as like heavily set up as this one.
So on this one you have a small rig cage on it. You can put a handle on the right. You can put a handle on top. It has two Rode microphones on it. These are what, the Rode Micros,
Something
whatever.
like that, yeah.
We'll have links to everything in the description, so if you want to check it out, go ahead. But this uses a splitter, so this is your right channel and this is your left channel. So if you're talking to someone, you can capture your voice and you can capture their voice. If you don't want to use your voice, you can just cut out that whole left channel and just use theirs. If you want to use just their voice and not capture you mouth breathing, you can just cut out this one. So this usually has a 16-35 Zeiss on it. It's f4, so about as low as you can go, but pretty nice. I know Matt, he just hates the color science on Sony's, so I don't know. I think it's okay.
We both have Sonys as well.
Yeah, we're shooting this on my Sony, which is the same camera as this. So yeah. On here, the variable ND filter. So this camera's outside a lot, so you definitely want an ND filter so you're not, completely messing up all the settings to try and get a good picture. But that's this one here, small rig cage. This is a Ronin S with a little small rig grip on here, because holding this with that for like more than 20 minutes, you start to get a little bit tired of holding it.
It probably weighs, I don't know, 15 pounds maybe?
Somewhere between like 10 to 15 pounds,
yeah.
I would guess, but
holding that.
It works pretty well. It has a little electronic, like if you have like a follow focus or something, you don't use it. So I don't know if it supports Sony or not, but you get to do a software update and stuff, and you require Matt's phone to do a software update to this, so it almost never happens. But on the back here, you have a little joystick, you have a mode button, and a record button. And then this is like a little custom trigger. If you hold it, it'll actually do like a headless mode, so you can move this and the camera will stay still no matter what mode you're in. That's the Ronin S that we use. So if you see a gimbal footage, really smooth, it's probably on this, or warp stabilizer. The next camera is a really heavy one. This one's just super heavy. It has to be like
20
pounds.
20 pounds, yeah.
So this thing's fully kitted out. You know, tilt the matte box on there. We don't use it. Matt just bought it, and he's like, "Yeah, it looks cool. I'm gonna buy it." So
Makes it look professional.
yeah, we're professional here. But we have the whole small rig setup here going on, and
Really good.
we'll have a link to like all this configuration in the description for you. But let's start from top down. We have the Sennheiser EW10 G3s. So these are wireless lav. So if you wonder why like the audio is really good and Matt's like a mile away, it's because he has one of these in his pocket and this set up like right here by his neck under his shirt. We use these for audio like 99% of the time. And we have two of them, so you can have one on one channel, one on another channel, and capture two people at the same time and just mix them together in post. But we got two of those set up. These feed into the Sony audio interface right here. So that also comes with a Sony shotgun mic, which will also have, you know, all the information for you if you're interested in this. So two XLR inputs, and on the side here they have all the little settings and dials, and if you want to switch to one channel or two channels, so gives you plenty of options for your inputs for audio. Over here, small HD focus monitor. This is supposed to be like somewhat calibrated from factory, but the colors are still off, so it has to be calibrated no matter what, I feel. The only problem with the Sony is if you use an HDMI out, you don't get face autofocus. So you're going to just be getting regular, you know, focusing, so it won't be as quick to grab onto a subject if you had, you know, just a regular focus versus the face autofocus. So there's a G Master, what is it, like f2.8?
Yeah.
f2.8, 16 to 35. So no real telephoto lenses here. Unless Ryan has a lens in his bag, then we can use that real quick. But, you know, that's like a really top-end lens for its size. G Masters are Sony's like one of their top-of-the-line lenses. It has no OSS in it, so if you're going to be hand-holding this thing, don't. Even though, I mean, Sony stabilization is not that great. Like, we used a GH5 before, and the GH5 has better stabilization, so if you're wondering, Sony stabilization kind of junk for hand-holding, so don't try and vlog with it really unless you have a gimbal.
I walk around with a gimbal all the time.
Yeah, you know, you get jacked just holding that.
Just one arm now.
So we have that on there, and it's also an A7 III, just like the other camera. So we have 3 A7 IIIs and 1 A7 R3. So there's a lot of Sony in here.
Yeah.
One more thing, this is a circular polarizer that we have for it, so cut down on reflections and stuff. We also have one of those for the Zeiss lens. Batteries. We got a lot of Sony batteries. This camera has 2 in it already, that camera has 1 in it already, and then we have 4 extra batteries to go with that.
Plus all of our batteries if we ever bring our batteries with us.
Yeah, so I have like 3 or 4 batteries, Ryan has.
I think I have 4.
He has 4, so
There's a lot of batteries here.
a lot of batteries. And this is the actual, this is like a Sony L battery if I remember. And this is actually used to power the small HD right here. And these last, you know, a long time. So just watch your battery level on it because you'll just be going forever and then it'll die. That's pretty much that stuff there. If Ryan wants to, he can talk about his camera. I don't know much about the A7R3. I know it's pretty similar to the A7 III, but I'll let him talk about that.
Yeah. This camera is pretty much the same as those. I'd say it's around same image quality for video and stuff like that. This shoots 4K and 120 FPS slow-mo. The only thing I think is like the big difference is this will take much larger photos. So we use this camera a lot to take photos of the cars, obviously, all the products that you guys buy off the website, things like that. Just because it'll give us a little bit more size to really zoom in or edit or crop anything that we need.
It's like a 42 megapixel if I remember.
Yeah, 42.4 or something ridiculous.
Yeah, and like A7 IIIs are 24,
yeah,
but they're both full frame, so you know, get better bokeh and whatnot with that.
Yeah.
So
it's good we get to use it for stuff like that. Like we're making a PDF of like one of the pressure washer packages right now. We're able to go in there and you can see each part really clearly because the resolution is out of this world. It's amazing. So that's this one. I got a bunch of different lenses. You want to talk about them or no?
I mean, you can if you want, like which ones we've used and whatnot.
Yeah. This is a Rokinon 35mm f1.4 autofocus. It's like a really sharp depth of field, so like your tip of your face will be in focus, but everything behind it will be out of focus. So it's really cool to make like artsy things. We use it a lot on the cars and stuff to get really cool photos of the front ends and things like that of different parts, because you can really separate the subject with the blurriness or the bokeh, as they call it, with this one. So I like this one a lot. Bryce took a really good photo, I think, of the Porsche that's as the cover photo right now.
Yeah, on the YouTube page, to the top banner, a little photo.
I think it was either this one or the zoom lens. I forget which one it is.
Can't
There's two
remember.
different ones because we change them all the time. So
Yeah, probably do a 1M banner.
yeah,
Get ready for the 1M giveaway, raffle, whatever you want to call it.
yeah, we're gonna spam you with 1M content. This lens is a 10-18 Sony lens. It's f4 throughout the whole thing. This is a crop sensor lens, so it's made for like the
6300, 6400, 6500.
6000, all the 6000 series.
So, yeah.
But these, you can put these into like a crop sensor mode and use them, these kinds of lenses. And then when you shoot 4K, the Sony's already like downsample, so when you put this on, it just kind of crops it anyway. So that works fine with the 4K. It's just a little bit more zoomed in. It's not 10-18. It's, I don't know, like 20.
I don't know.
or
It's
something
like
that.
1.5
Yeah.
times crop or something. I can't remember.
This is another crop body lens that I had from when I had a 6300, and this is a 55mm to 210mm. So this is like a really long super zoom telephoto, and we use this for really long distance photos, obviously, and zooming in on certain things if we need to get in really close from something. But this is a good lens. It's really cheap, but it does well. Autofocus is alright. I have another Rokinon lens here. This is a 14mm f2.8. This one's actually all manual, so there's no autofocus. It's all manual focus and then manual aperture as well. So super basic, cheap lens, but super wide, so you can get literally crazy with this thing. You
Yeah.
can put your hand right here and you can see your whole hand. It's that wide. It's insane. So we use this for interior shots sometimes if you want to punch in and get the whole thing in there. This is the same lens that's being used right now to film this. Mine's old and really dirty compared to Bryce's though. As you can see, it's really worn. I've had this for like 4 years now, this lens. But this is the lens that comes with most of the Sony cameras in the kit, and it's, I think, one of the hidden gems in the Sony lineup, because the autofocus is really fast, super sharp, and it's just good for having on your camera at all times. You can take it anywhere and get good photos or video with it. So
Good starter lens.
yeah.
So that's why they give you in the kit. It's really
Yeah.
good.
As
media
opposed to like
area.
like the Canon kit lens, the 18-55, that's a piece of junk. That's so cheap. Like
Yeah.
this is has solid construction. The
It's like-
focus and stuff is super smooth. Even after this one's super old, like the zoom is super smooth still, and that's just good quality.
Yep, definitely. I think we pretty much touched on everything. I mean, like software-wise, we use Adobe Premiere Pro. We use like pretty much the whole Adobe suite.
We use Adobe Acrobat. It's our favorite program.
Yeah, it's like a Mexican standoff between Ryan, me, and Chris, because Chris is trying to get in there to look at PDFs he gets emailed, and like we're trying to work on like documents or whatnot for like the website. So it's like,
And we all share the same Adobe account, which is Matt's.
yeah. So you
it
have
makes it tough.
2 people at most can be using like the same app at the same time. So
And
it's
there's
like,
4 or 5 of us that use the same account now, so it gets a little hairy sometimes, but we work around it.
yeah, we'll just kick each other off. Mainly Chris. 'Cause-
We have precedence.
yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. Just to give you an insight behind how media is done, and what gear we use.
Hopefully answer some of the questions that we're always seeing on how do you guys like the Sony cameras? What do you guys use for this?
Matt hates them.
Yeah.
I think Matt hates any camera that's not a Canon. So
Yeah.
it's like GH5 has terrible autofocus. Sony's have Sony Color Science, where skin tones don't look as good.
Stabilization's.
Yeah, stabilization's a joke. It's like it's only really good in like photo mode, like doing stills. It's pretty good for that. You can get a really sharp picture with just hand holding. But video, it's just it sucks balls. It's pretty bad. But yeah, that's pretty much a setup. If you have any questions, throw some down in the comments. I'm sure we can jump in there and like answer some of them for you. And we'll have more detailed stuff on exactly what this all is in the description, where you can buy it. And yeah. And there's actually a Rode, I think it's like a Stereo Mic X, that's Matt's microphone that he really uses. We don't really use it, maybe for doing like exhaust videos or something where you really want to capture a stereo sound that's really clean. We'll use that, but I'll also throw that down there for you, so if you want to check that out. Thank you for watching this video. It's probably going to be, it's going to be shorter than most of Matt's videos. So, yeah, and that's it. Thank you guys. See ya.